Hey y'all, welcome back to Talk Fame to Me with B.Lynette, where the shade comes with facts and the truth does not need a filter. Now, look, I've been wanting to give you guys my opinion on this situation with Claressa Shields and Laila Ali. Now, baby, we have to talk about this brewing storm between the two because what started as a friendly competition done turned into a full on conversation about legacy, respect, and ego. At first glance, it looked like harmless boxing banter, two women from different eras showing confidence in their skills. But after watching Laila Ali's nearly 30-minute video, it hit me. This isn't just about boxing talk anymore. This feels personal. It's emotional. It's legacy colliding with ambition. So let's rewind. This latest round of drama started when Claressa Shields appeared on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast with Gilly the Kid and Wallow. On that show, Claressa compared Laila Ali's career to her father's and basically said, Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. She also claimed that Wolf was the one to beat in Layla's era, not Layla, and that she's the greatest of her own time.
Because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on now, listen. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
No, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
no, that is right.
Come on, Layla can rumble though.
And Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she would have knocked Layla oh so pretty ass out.
I had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm gonna give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
Now, I get it. Confidence is a part of the game, but the wording matters because when you're talking about Muhammad Ali's daughter, you're not just talking about another boxer, you're talking about legacy. After Claressa's podcast comments went viral, Laila Ali dropped a nearly 30-minute YouTube video that made the internet stop. She wasn't yelling, she wasn't petty, she was measured, calm, and precise. Here's the context from that video because you know your girl came prepared with notes. Laila said she's disappointed in Claressa, calling her divisive, vindictive, and malicious. She reminded viewers that she once supported Claressa, saying, including myself, I had high hopes for her. I supported her. I sent her off in the right direction. But that support, according to Laila, turned into disappointment. She has become a horrible representation of both the sport and our culture. And the quote that shook the table, she's a generic wannabe. My father would not want to share his name or image with her. She does not represent anything about him. Whew. Laila also addressed the fight talk, you know, that $15 million purse Claressa offered her to step in the ring. And she didn't say yes or no. Instead, she said, I'll speak on that in part 2. So now fans are waiting like, is this really happening or just internet hype? But see, that's what makes this so heartbreaking because this didn't start in hate. Laila and Claressa actually had a sit down years ago. Champ to champ, woman to woman, Laila gave Claressa advice, encouragement, and even shared what it was like to be a Black woman representing strength in boxing. She wanted Claressa to succeed. She literally poured into her. So when Laila says in her video that she's hurt and disappointed, it hits different because it's coming from someone who once believed in you. And Laila made it clear it isn't about jealousy. It's about values. She says she doesn't like the way Claressa moves publicly. The lack of grace, the lack of humility, the constant jabs over the years. Now, let's be fair. Claressa Shields is one of the most accomplished female boxers ever. She's young, she's decorated, and has every right to call herself the GOAT, the greatest of all times. But there's a fine line between self belief and self sabotage because after watching Layla's video, I can honestly say Claressa is starting to look less like confidence and more like disrespect. You don't have to tear down legends to prove you're legendary. And I'll be real, watching the clips Layla played of Claressa trash talking her over the years on Laila Ali KO here on YouTube, that's where I saw the video, it gave menace, not motivation. It's one thing to sell a fight, it's another to keep a woman's name in your mouth for years after she's retired, okay? I think sometimes we as people, especially in competitive spaces, mistake acknowledgement for weakness. Claressa, Layla's acknowledgement was a gift. She didn't owe you that conversation, that support, or that mentorship, but she gave it to you anyways. And I say that humbly because I've been there. I've misread intentions before. I've taken things out of context. Um, I react too quick and had to admit I was wrong numerous of times. But growth happens when you stop just defending your start refining your character. As you get older, you learn that being rough around the edges might have worked when you were hungry, but polish is what keeps you at the table. And baby, character matters. You can have 10 belts, but if your name don't carry grace, those belts don't mean much. In my opinion, don't fight me because girl, I can't whoop you. Now, sidebar. This part is not pretty, but it's a part of the conversation. There's also been talk about Claressa allegedly being in Remy Ma's inbox at one point, asking her questions, and then later being linked with Remy's husband, Papoose. Now, I don't know how deep that goes. I wasn't there. This is just what I read from Remy's Instagram. Now, I don't know how deep that goes, okay? Again, let me reiterate that. But it does start to form a pattern of questionable boundaries. It makes people side eye your intentions. And like Layla said, the issue isn't talent, it's representation. Because the greatest does not just dominate, they inspire. And let's not forget what the last name means. Muhammad Ali isn't just a boxing legend, he's the Michael Jackson of boxing. You know, black people love Michael Jackson as well as Muhammad Ali. The face of courage, culture, and conviction. In nearly every black household, his name symbolizes pride and power. So, when Claressa throws shade at Layla, it's not just about one woman. It feels like she's dismissing everything her father fought for, literally and spiritually. And that's why Layla said what she said, because to her, it's not about a fight, it's about preserving the legacy. Right now, here's the landscape of everything. Layla has released her detailed video explaining everything, and she's hinted at a part two. Claressa continues to call her out in public, saying Layla's dodging the challenge. Fans are split. Some say Layla's ducking, others says she's protecting her peace and she doesn't have to prove herself. But the deeper issue isn't physical, it's moral. It's about whether Claressa truly respects the foundation she is standing on. And I have a few questions to Claressa Shields. When does confidence cross the line into disrespect? You've been blessed with talent, but have you outgrown humility? Do you think maybe you misread Layla's intentions years ago and that miscommunication turned into a rivalry that didn't have to exist? To Laila Ali, are you protecting your legacy or your peace? Would one final fight with Claressa settle this once and for all or just feed the circus? How do you balance honoring your father's name with giving the new generation room to rise? To my audience, Fame Fam, after hearing both sides, did your opinion of Claressa change? Do younger athletes owe public homage to those who came before them? And when it comes to trash talk, who decides where the line between promotion and disrespect really lies? At the end of the day, this is bigger than boxing. This is about character, gratitude, and legacy, because true greatness, it's not just about how hard you hit, it's about how much respect you leave behind. I'll see you on the next one.